Welcome back, everybody, to another installment of the No-Stalgia Podcast. I'm your host, Talon, and with my co-host, Adam.
Adam, hello. Co-host. You bumped me up.
Yeah. Get back down there.
Slave was before, but now look at me.
On today's episode, we are going to be playing Metroid.
Well, I have played. Discussing. We're going to play it. New series coming soon now. Yeah, so we went... I went through Metroid. I played it. This one I also did on through... I'm assuming you're putting Legend of Zelda up before this, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this one I did also with emulator because this is another game that I tried playing on the NES Classic and I got super confused on where the fuck I was going and stuff like that. So I found it way more helpful if I had a strategy guide telling me, you know, go over here, go to that, because it was hard to navigate those areas and it felt like enemies were just coming out of nowhere, killing me all the time. So I used an emulator for that, for this one.
So, for those who don't know, the original Metroid came out on the Nintendo Entertainment System, so the NES as well again, back in 1987, once again, in North America. So, Nintendo was killing it back then, just with crazy games, redefining. If you guys have never seen Metroid, I'm sure you know Samus, but if you've never seen the gameplay, it's a action-adventure game, 2D platformer, hence the name Metroidvania games, where people get those from, kind of...
The other half is Castlevania.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
But it's, once again, it's super influential in the game industry, as most Nintendo games are. So I guess we'll start.
Yeah, let's jump into this. This was one of the games that I was most excited to play because I've enjoyed Metroidvania games in the past. Yeah, and you know I wanted to see like, hey, where's this all coming from? Because I play a little Castlevania too. I haven't really beaten it. Maybe that'll be another episode. But yeah, I was most excited to play this one because of, you know, I want to get into where did Metroidvania begin? You know, how was it in its first steps? And also, I love the like aesthetic and feel of this game. You know, hot off the tails, sort of in a contra fashion for like the Alien films. Like, I was so down to see how Nintendo was going to do this in, you know, keeping, you know, horror and creepiness intact, but also selling it. Yeah, selling it.
NES.
Yeah, and also like selling it also for like a family-friendly audience in a way that it's not like there's no blood and gore in this, but like, you know, any kid can play this and have fun.
We definitely can get into the aesthetic of it later.
Yeah.
But I guess the first thing we usually go over is the technical aspects of the game and the gameplay, stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
what did it lose on technicalities?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
So yeah, let's start from there.
Sure. Technically, so something I really enjoyed about this game was the energy life bar, where it's points, where it's not, you don't have like a life bar with set amount of things. You just have like, you're getting hit and you're slowing down. Yeah. That was, I found that like very helpful for a game like this, which is basically throwing monsters at you all the time off screen and it'll just keep shooting at you. One of the things that I hated was those little pipes that shot the flying monsters out. It was like good for getting your health up, but then also like just the amount of enemies on screen sometimes would slow it down, and also it was just like overwhelming.
Yeah, again.
So that's why like the health bar is like perfect for this, where it's like you're jumping into lava or getting hit by flying bugs, but you know,
yeah. So the health,
got some points to get hit.
The health's counted down from 99. You start with 99 health. Later in the game, throughout the game, you can increase it or like kind of get. I think they call them energy tanks. Yeah. Where it can increase it basically by a full 100. So I think the max is 699 that you can get throughout the whole game.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, I didn't get that. But if you go down to like hit 0, it just refills it basically. Yeah. And you can just keep refilling the tanks, kind of like in a Mega Man E-Tank-esque fashion before Mega Man.
Ooh.
So, yeah, how did the game feel playing it?
It felt
the controls, like, did it feel tight? Did you not like?
No, yeah. Most of the platforming was surprisingly fine. I had sometimes troubles jumping onto small platforms. There's a lot of times where there was an upgrade with like little stilts of platforming sections that you had to go over, and a lot of times I was just falling into lava. So hitting that stuff was kind of hard. It was a lot easier and more fun when the platforms were a lot longer, so you could hit them. You know, you can actually jump. Some of the tighter platforming was like impossible for me, but it all felt pretty well. Like firing and shooting things was totally fine. It was a lot of, I think there's no ammo in this game, right? It's just you're firing
only with
the,
like,
missiles,
the
missiles,
right?
Yeah. So the firing and stuff and navigation was totally fine. So it all felt pretty well. It's just some of those platforming bits were pretty tough.
Oh, yeah.
I was falling in lava and cursing my name out a lot of times, especially when like you'd have to shoot something to go down, and then it would like spawn on top of you, so you'd just be burning in lava for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
not fun.
So I guess besides that, besides the extra things, there are a lot of upgrades in the game as well. In terms of gameplay. There's first couple ones you get like the extra beam that makes you shoot further. One of the more famous ones is the morph ball, which allows you literally just to turn into a ball and get into different areas, things like that, as well as the...
Isn't there a screw one? Is like a
screw attack, yeah. So
that is great.
The screw attack is very strong in that game, and it's also really hard to find.
Yeah.
It does a lot of damage. The screw attack, I'm sure if anyone's ever played Super Smash, basically think Samus's up B, where she saves herself and spins really fast up and hurts people. Just that. Then there's the morph ball with the bomb where you drop the bombs, and then there's as well. I think it's cool. The first game actually had a suit variant as well.
Yeah,
which is the Varia suit.
Yeah.
Did she turn purple? Or
it's
blue?
Like red and blue.
It's red and blue.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there's a suit upgrade in the game, and it basically just halves all damage.
Yeah.
In the game, which is really nice for that game because you start taking nuts damage.
Yeah. Annoying in some of the hideouts.
You get hit hard.
Yeah. Which is annoying. But yeah, hunting for those collectibles and upgrades was not collectibles, but like mainly upgrades.
Yeah, power-ups.
That was a lot of fun trying to find. It has kind of the feeling of Zelda a little bit, where you have to bomb walls and shit to like get through areas, especially when there's like small places that you have to go into a little ball to go down into. So that was fun. Wasn't hard to find because I had a big picture that told me where they were all.
Okay.
So I had a good time doing that. But like honestly, I'm glad I had the picture because running around for all that shit was also like kind of a pain in the ass getting to it. Because I know like as I was reading the guide, it was saying like it'll be a lot easier to get this, and I'm glad I did get the upgrades to fight some of those bosses. But like, fuck man, running over here and then over there to get through these like platforming sections and like making sure, because you need freeze guns for these specific things to get that, and it's just like fuck, like I already forgot, like I left my other upgrade because you can't have two of like a specific thing at the same time or something.
So there's an ice beam and a wave beam in the game. The ice beam freezes enemies obviously, and the wave beam literally just goes through things.
Which is fucking good, real good.
It's really strong, but one of the most annoying enemies in the game are the Metroid. Yeah. And the only thing, like the best way to stop them is the ice beam in the game, because they completely freeze in their tracks. Yeah. And then the wave beam actually does nothing to them. Yeah. They just absorb the energy basically. Yeah. So you're kind of stranded.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I got into that area without an ice beam, so
yeah, it just got
Mother Brain was very difficult for me.
Metroid isn't linear.
No.
It's very much, you get power-ups to explore new areas that you wouldn't have been able to reach without those areas.
Yeah. You don't really need the upgrades to beat the bosses at all, right?
You don't need them, but I think it just makes... some of the areas you do need the ice beam to finish the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there are parts you literally can't get through without it.
Okay.
I think there's another upgrade. I think the morph ball that you need. Yeah. But it's one of the first ones?
I think you just move to the left and
I think it's pretty close to the start of the game. But yeah, the game is super non-linear. It's all about exploration, and you backtrack a lot in the game. Yeah, trying to find new areas, and then you find a morph ball. You're like, oh, now I can go here, and I couldn't go here before. Yeah, and then you get the bombs from the morph ball, and you get the high jump, and you get the
backtracking and traversing was definitely something that made me be like, old game. Me no likey. Yeah, this is annoying, and I don't like it at all. But like, of course, like, what else were you gonna do at the time? You gotta stretch it out a bit, and you gotta fight things. So
it's also, sometimes I do find it more interesting sometimes to go back there and be like, oh, I remember this place in the first like level somewhere where I know I couldn't reach it. Now I can go back. Yeah. Sometimes I like that more than just here, run to the right. Yeah. Or it's very, very linear. It just depends on the game.
I did like how all the levels were kind of structured vertically, where you had like kind of big block. You had still a lot of like you moving left and right, but it was like on blocks and stuff like that. Yeah. And you had different levels of going down. Some of those first areas have like just giant
chasms.
Yeah, where you go down forever over the top. Trying to play this game without a guide the first time got me angry. Yeah. Because there's a lot of like going all the way up. It's like, you can't go through this door. I didn't even know how to fucking open doors. Or not open doors, but like there's special doors.
You
need the missiles for. Yeah. I had no fucking clue. So I was just like going up and down and being like, what do I do?
Yeah. So special hint to anyone who's never played the game. Red door means there's a power up behind it.
Yeah, and you need
the little Chozo statue holds the power up.
Yeah, and some of the doors that you need to open, you need to shoot 5 missiles into. I know there's specific ones, so
yeah,
that's how you do that.
But yeah, the game's all about exploration and just finding new items and getting to new areas, and then fighting the 2 bosses before the final boss.
Yeah.
So I guess the next thing I would ask before we get into like aesthetic and music and stuff like that is the boss fights. So it's Kraid and Ridley.
Yeah.
If you remember anything about them.
I do.
And for anyone who doesn't know or doesn't recognize the names, Kraid's one of the 2 bosses in the game and super famous in the Metroid series. He's a big green dinosaur-looking dude with a big fat belly.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, if you've ever played Super Smash Bros. Melee, I believe the Brainstar map, the one that spins, or is that Norfair? I don't remember. Either one. The Melee map that spins, the big green lizard that attacks the stage and moves it, that's Kraid.
Mm-hmm. And then also, for Smash fans, in the next coming Smash game, Ridley is going to be a character, I think, right? That's what they told me. I saw a picture, though. It looked like he was fighting them. Okay, never mind.
But he is... Ridley is also in the cinematic of Melee.
Yeah.
When Samus fights him.
You fight Meta Ridley in Brawl.
You also fight, Ridley in Super Smash Brawl and the Subspace Emissary.
In Smash 5, you get to play.
Yeah, in Smash 5, you ride Ridley.
Yeah.
To
Doom.
You catch him as a Pokemon.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So, I guess the next thing... Oh, so I guess...
Those bosses, those fights were annoying.
Yeah.
But I was able to get past them. A lot of it was just like fire a lot into them, you know? They're a lot smaller in this game. They're about your height, so didn't feel like crazy or anything. But there is... One funny thing is that you can encounter a smaller... Is it Kraid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can encounter like a smaller version of him that you can easily kill.
There's a fake Kraid.
Yeah. There's some fun like little secrets in this game that are like weird, and it's like, why is this here? Yeah. So I can imagine like playing this a long time ago, it'd be like, yo, what the fuck? I thought I killed Kraid. There's 2 of them. You know, those little things. But those boss fights were, I know I didn't fight them correctly because I didn't have the correct weapons, but it was a lot of just like slamming on the button and destroying them. So like
missiles.
Yeah, it didn't have anything. It didn't compare with like the final fight. You know, it just felt like strong enemies.
Awesome. So I guess the next thing we're talking about is the aesthetic.
Ooh, the feel, the ooey gooey feel of Metroid.
So the Metroid is, if you couldn't tell, or if you've never seen the game, super heavily inspired by Alien, like H.R. Geiger stuff. Even the little Chozo statues holding the power ups, the Metroids are all kind of gooey, and the music is, I would say, compared to like Mario or Zelda, it's very much more atmospheric.
Yeah,
it's not poppy.
I love the music of this game.
The Metroid music's really cool. It's just kind of like dark and eerie.
Yeah, when my favorite thing about this game is definitely the feeling and the aesthetic of it. It being like dropped into the play. Even like the title screen is weird. And the music is strange, being dropped into the area, and then you're like all alone. You're the only person on this planet.
You feel alone.
Yeah,
which is awesome for an old game like this.
Yeah, the areas are very claustrophobic and very intense when they're throwing a lot of enemies, and like you only go deeper when you're having to deal with things. So it's like it feels like you're going crazier and crazier into like this alien planet thing all alone, and it's freaky. Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. The music especially was like.
It's really good.
It's like really. It's not like a music you listen to for fun, but it's just like it really sets you in the tone. That's just like, wow, it's only me in here, and there's some weird things trying to kill me. Yeah. You know, so like that was some of my favorite parts, especially like even like the areas were like color coded and stuff. Like I know farther you go in, there's like weird like gooey cubes you have to line across. And
there's the area. What's it? Brinstar. There's Norfair.
Yeah,
and then the top one, the beginning area. It's called Turian.
Okay, yeah.
And then there's the 2 areas that are like the hideouts.
Yeah, that's where the bosses are. Yeah.
So the game, it's all pretty color coded in the original one. In Super Metroid, it's a lot more like it's changed. Like the areas kind of changed.
Yeah.
But it's easy to tell where you're going and where you are.
Yeah.
And it helps the backtracking a lot because you're like, this was in the red area.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It just felt very creepy, lonely, and like uncomfortable.
Yeah. That's going through, which is great.
Yeah, which I loved.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about, since the game is once again pretty short. I guess we should mention before we go too far is the big bad end fight with Mother Brain.
Big Brain.
How did you feel?
So I got into that area. I think I had like the warp gun, but then I had to go get the freeze gun or something because I fucked up.
The wave gun, you mean?
Yeah. The Metroids were super hard to fight, and then I finally got to that like final area where the rush is, and that was impossible for me. I remember I kept trying to do it, and I kept dying like immediately. And it was just like you had to go through all those areas because they're shooting things at you, and then there's like lasers shooting at you. There's so much fucking shit coming towards you, and it was like impossible to like concentrate where I'm going. It's like, oh, I also have to shoot these things. Don't they regrow? Like you have to shoot through walls that like regrow as you're fighting them, and then you finally get to like the end chamber, and you have to pump so many fucking missiles into this thing while like you're getting shot from on top, on bottom, like every which way. And like I was honestly, I was going through that area, and I had to. There was like a rewind feature on the emulator. I used that like a lot in that because kept getting I went to the area with so much energy and it just depleted like that
instantly
from getting hit by all these things, and I had to like keep rewinding when I got into tough situations. Like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, how do I get out? I didn't even know how. Honestly, I'm like, how the fuck would you play this like a long time ago and do this like alone? It's like
kids, that's all they did, just God, it's rinse and repeat.
I know. I can't imagine like
we're babies now.
Yeah, I know. I honestly, it's impossible. Like, I would never waste that much time. I would just give up. If I ever got the mother brain to look at one thing and just walk the other way, it's impossible.
Fuck that shit.
It's so fucking hard. Like, it's so hard. It's so hard. Like, I look online at like videos of people doing it and like
10 seconds.
Yeah, and they're like, I'm like, I don't know what buttons you pressing, but you're way better than me. But yeah, they're like crushing areas, and maybe I was doing something wrong.
But it's also like, people have been playing for years.
Yeah,
like, they know the game like the back of their hand.
Yeah.
Like if you watch someone play Super Metroid, like I didn't even think you could go that fast.
Yeah, but like, that ending area felt definitely like you designed to like just get hit all the time.
Yeah.
So like I know you're supposed to freeze the little circles, the Cheerios coming at you, and I could never do that and also fight Mother Brain at the same time. It was like difficult. It was so hard.
Electric Cheerio.
Yeah, but after like so many rewinds and attempts, I eventually beat that area, and I'm glad I never had to do that again.
Do you remember how fast you beat the game? Because they do give you Metroid, once again, one of the first games to like include an in-game timer. I know it's not the first, but it's like one of the bigger ones.
Oh, I can't remember. Did it tell you at the end when you beat it?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Probably a couple hours though. I think it took me.
Because I know if there are actually 5 different endings.
What?
Yeah, in Metroid.
Really?
And it depends on how fast you beat the game that you get them. The quickest 3 endings actually have Samus take off her helmet and her suit and show that she's a female.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. So that's really cool.
I did get that. I got the Samus,
you got one of the endings?
In her bikini, and I was like, well, space, don't do that.
In her space.
Yeah, this is dangerous.
It's perfect for space.
Don't you also start the next game though, like as just like Samus without her suit? That's how it did to me.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I'm like, oh fuck, now you can go through the game again.
Zero suit,
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Let me see. I'm trying to think what else. I don't need to give the plot of the game because it's just you literally going to fight things.
Yes.
There is a plot. There is an official plot, but
kill aliens.
Well, supposedly, space pirates took the Metroids, and now they're going to use them as biological weapons.
Oh.
And Ridley and
I didn't read all the runes in the thing, clearly.
Ridley, it's in the lore you can find in the world. If you read the item descriptions, you can...
Fuck. I'm stuck in Arnstein and Smo, though. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Kraid and Ridley fight.
Yeah.
Let me see him.
That, like, makes sense. That joke you made. Like, Kraid is the big one, and then Ridley is the smaller one with, like, fast attacks. Wow. Very good. Let's make the mod, everyone.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
So I guess the next thing is, what are your thoughts of the game? I know you've been giving your thoughts, but
I didn't like it. No,
overall feeling.
Yeah, no, I liked it a lot. This is one of the games that I was most excited to see, and then going through it was a lot of fun. I was looking for I want to know what was Nintendo's. I don't know if this is great, but their first dip into just not horror, but uneasy, more intense action. And this definitely felt like it. Yeah. This started to feel like one of the, franchises that fuck, I want to play the other games in this because this was pretty cool.
Strongly suggest Prime.
Yeah, I'm ready for that. And also, Super Metroid.
Super Metroid's really good too.
Yeah, so playing this one was a blast. I had a lot of troubles like traversing the area. I needed like the strategy and then kind of going back and forth. It got a little annoying, but I knew that's like the nature of the beast with this kind of game and stuff. Yeah, especially being the first of its kind. But like I was still impressed the hell out of like the atmospheric level, the music and the design of everything, and the loneliness that it put on me.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
So it was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
So do you have
I do.
Your awards?
Yeah, you're playing the theme right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Adam Awards theme. That one that we have.
Best moment.
Go for it.
Which we didn't touch on.
Okay.
The ending escape.
Oh.
After you beat Mother Brain, little countdown is like, get to the top before this whole fucking thing explodes. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. So like jumping up that area. Do you have to fight Metroids as you're running away? I don't even remember.
I do. You know better than I would.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a very long time since I played this. But like, yeah, that ending escape was definitely like the coolest. Like after getting fucking rid of Mother Brain, which is like the hardest thing in the world for me, then running away was just a lot of fun. I was like,
the escape sequence is like one of the most famous parts of the game, where it's just like timer and you're like, what?
Yeah,
Get to the top.
It's a nice little like not change of pace, but like quickening the pace right at the end, where it's like it could have just ended right there, you know?
Yeah,
which would have been fine.
Like,
and then you just like end. But I like the fact that it's like, well, no, you had to get out of the planet too. Like,
because now it's about to blow.
Yeah, now it's about to explode. So it's like that was cool.
Yeah, I like that too.
Most bullshit moment. The tubes.
Escape sequence.
No, there's the tubes that spawn the flying enemies that kept coming. Those are like seriously, like if there's two of those and they like just keep going, like that's where I die a lot. I just get stuck in between. It's just like, oh, they keep going.
Just juggled.
Yeah, it just keeps hitting me. And then also I wrote / the ending battle.
Oh, really?
I probably didn't like that much. But and then best song is Kraid's Hideout. I don't know how that goes, but
actually, I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, so I'll bring it up.
Play it here. Wow, what a good song. Wow, what a good song. Didn't you like that? Just gets you in the mood to dance. I don't know. I think that was...
That's a do.
I think that's the one. Yeah, I think that's the one that most feels like the most creepy and uneasy.
I think that might be Norfair's, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'll put it up there.
They're all pretty damn creepy, but that was one of my favorite ones where I'm like, this feels strangely creepy and melodic in a way that I'm like, I kind of like this. Should I kill Kraid? And then when I saw his big ugly face, I said, hell yeah. Wants to rock it into his mouth. Yeah, he killed me many times. But yeah, I think that's it for the Adam Awards and maybe for this episode of the No-Stalgia Podcast.
Oh, man. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Listening to it talk about Metroid.
For the NES.
The Nintendo Entertainment System.
Mm-hmm. Super action, super space, super fun.
Super fun.
Uh-huh. So that's it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
So, dude, Samus is a lady. Can you believe
I know.
that?
Nobody knows.
She took off her suit. I thought there was going to be Master Chief in there. You know, that came out before this, right?
It's Master Chief.
Yeah. Oh, God. I'm going to have to replay this. Gotta study the Chozo ruins more, obviously. Read the item descriptions.